That's amazing. Really incredible like results there. Like 90% monthly adoption is like something I see, commonly amongst like really high achieving guru teams. But 90% weekly adoption is like even more impressive, where it's like 90% of your team are using Guru every week. And so that's really awesome, and it speaks to just the amount of trust that they have inside of Guru because of this work that you're doing. And like to have a collection that has 2000 plus cards and has 100% draw scores, like my mind blew. When you told me that, I was like, I don't think I've ever seen those stats. Like that's crazy.
500 plus globally distributed makers that work with our customer facing teams. And those are across people in the customer service department, the claims department, the ones who actually handle the claims once they're submitted, and then also our underwriting department. So we have three different like departments that handle with customer facing interactions. And then within those customer facing departments, there's teams that service each of our different products. So a team that helps out with the property lines, team that helps out with the that's renters and homeowners, team that helps out with pet, team that helps out with car, team that helps out with life. So we have all those different teams to service those different products within the departments. And so on top of that, with our different insurance products, there are constant like complex and unique processes that we are pulling out and pushing out to like have SOPs that our folks can follow end to end. And our company is very big on optimization. And so there will always be a lot of changes that come down the pipeline, always for the betterment of, the people in the customer facing role. But we have to keep up with those in our resources. So that's quite a big challenge. And then on top of that, just for the customer facing things, we have approximately 5,000 cards. On average, we get around 100 to 200 requests per month, although we just broke 300 for the month of March.
Wow.
Um,
Congratulations.
thank you. And so, lots of different stuff coming in. It's not the same month to month. And I think that just kind of speaks to like, oh, the business needs change month to month, but we're consistently getting, a pretty decent volume. Our team's made up of around 13 trainers who are helping with content creation, though the bulk of it usually falls within like this, like 3 to 5 people per month. It's not always the same 3 to 5. Well, one of them and two of them are always the same, but 3 to 5 folks will typically handle the bulk of the requests, whereas others might have like one or even zero, depending on what they're tagged in. And with this knowledge management system, it's not perfect. It's pretty dang successful. I think we had like a 93% success rate with making sure that our knowledge management SOP that we have is, working well and keeping things accurate. And so to address that like small margin of error, we have an end of the year content audit when things tend to slow down for our team. And so in December, we all go through our collections, scan through them, do any other initiatives we want to look at with Guru, and then we make sure that there's nothing that slipped through the cracks.
Walk us through this sort of process. I know we're going to go through kind of like sort of selected screenshots here. So
Right.
maybe just walk us through.
Yeah, for sure. So we have our survey that we send out, and I've chosen like the most important questions that we ask, aside from the person's name. So as you can see here, first we have them choose which organization, whether it's the customer, service team, the claims team, or the underwriting ops team. Once they select that, then they select which product it's for. Once they check those, then they have to check what the resource is for. So they can choose Guru Card, Macro, 360 Learning, or if there's a big process or product update, then we'll do multiple resources. And then we'll have to split it up manually at the back end, but it's usually like one request, one resource. And then just we're using Guru as the example since this is a Guru workshop. Once they select a resource, they can choose whether it's a quick grammar, clarity, or accuracy update to a Guru card. So just updating existing one, or choosing a brand new Guru card. If it's like something that's smaller, like just an update, usually folks will just type out in the box here. But if it's a brand new resource, typically folks have been trained to go to a Google Doc, type out the whole thing in a Google Doc, toggle the sharing settings, and then drop the link in the form instead. Once the submission form is complete, it'll populate in our customer org knowledge receipts channel. And again, that's just kind of receipt that kind of is a dumping ground for all the stuff. And it auto tags folks. And then on top of that, Additional information is auto-populated from the form. It doesn't look the prettiest in terms of bullet points, but that's because each one of those bullet points represents different branches of the same question. So that's why it's different, so many different bullet points there. And then on top of that, I demonstrated you can put stakeholder comms in the thread. And so we will often loop in the other subject matter experts or stakeholders that we're working with and give updates here. So when you hit that eyeball emoji, we have an automation at the top there. When you hit the
Mhm.
eyeballs, it'll say that you're working on the request. And then if you do the checkbox, then it says the request is complete. So then one of the cool integrations with Zapier is it'll also dump some of the information that we're wanting to track into a spreadsheet. And then from there, we can get a breakdown by department, by resource type, by line of business, and then also very important by person, which I'm showing here. And so we can give with those eyeballs and that check mark, it tracks who's completing and working on stuff and also timestamps them for how long it takes them to complete the. This has been like a full year. I think launched it in like late March, early April last year. So we've been operating on this for a full year. We have a 90% weekly adoption rate with our customer facing teams. And we consistently have high verification scores for our customer org specific collections. They're usually going to be around 100% just of the way we structure. And that includes our pets claims collection, which has over 2,000 cards, which is why they also get a lot of requests month over month. And that's 100% verified, which is quite a big feat. Um, and then, like I said, we quantify a lot of what we do with these knowledge request tracking. It's not only the only part of our role that we do, but it's a good part of what we do in our role as the customer L&D team. And so it helps us, helps our manager understand our workload and capacity. And if when new initiatives are coming down the pipeline, she can make sure it goes to someone who isn't maybe as buried under work as another person. And then we also use it to give our various stakeholders visibility to the impact of the knowledge we have. So it gives them an idea of what we're doing, what we're using, etc.